Welcome back, County Gains gang. We got me and the donkey out to record a beautiful video today. Hopefully he doesn't hit into me. We are back on this glorious, beautiful Galway day, Irish day. And actually today, I'm just gonna walk straight past this guy. Sorry, donkey. Just enjoy your time. There's actually four of them, lads. Oh my days. Wasn't expecting to have donkeys down here. Hopefully they have no children or kids or anything, because they'll be sure to hit me. He's gonna follow me now. But yeah, beautiful country weather, lads. Beautiful Galway day. It's actually only 17 degrees today, and yesterday it was 25 degrees, guys. I mean, this is insane weather. I love it so much. You know, one of my favorite things in the world is the weather, and for it to be good. So I'm super happy, guys. Beautiful Galway day. For those who don't know where Galway is, because I get a lot of questions about that, it's like the west of Ireland. Okay, it's not it's not Dublin. Definitely isn't Dublin. Okay, completely different culture. You know, I think Dublin actually is like a different country. And I was recently on a tour guide. I do private tour guides all around the Wild Atlantic Way, which is like from Donegal down to Cork. And I do these tour guides, and I had a couple of Canadians with me the last day, and they asked me, what did Galway mean? And I always thought Galway meant land of the tribes or people of the tribes, because we have a lot of tribes, a lot of rich cultural history in the city. But I read last year it's something to do with like stone walls, like land of the stones, because we have so many granite stone rocks in the actual county. And as I was saying, I was on a tour guide. I just met random Canadians on a train, and they asked me, what do I do for work? And I said, I'm a right-wing conspiracy theorist. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I said that first, actually. You know, I think I'm funny, but I said, no, what I do is I'm a personal trainer, okay, coach, life coach, of course, and I do tour guides. I do a whole bunch of different stuff. Man of many trades. But they also asked me, you know, can we do a tour guide? So I said, absolutely. So if you guys want tour guides, if you're in the US coming here, or from Canada coming here, I do tour guides. Super long days, like we'll say 8 hours, which is a long tour guide session, guys. We did 7 hours the last day, which is pretty good. But if you guys want to do some tour guiding, you know, go around Galway mainly to the Cliffs of Moher and a few different shops as well, then let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, land of the stones, because there's just loads of this stony sort of rock. Like, look at all this stone wall. A lot of people, you know, love the stone walls. You know, that's not really a thing in any other countries. Like, people don't really have stone walls. It's like a completely unique situation to do with Ireland, you know, because, you know, we just have so much beautiful limestone rock, granite rock, you know, everywhere in the Burren. You know, I take people on tours around the Burren, and it's just beautiful, guys. It's beautiful to see the land, you know, being actually still kept the same way it is, guys. You know, that's one of the things a lot of people are like, oh, you know, the conservative movement. You know, even if you're not conservative, you guys can appreciate the nature being left alone. You know what I mean? When we talk about people being left alone and the culture being left alone, you know, we can also talk about how the land, you know, the beautiful atmosphere and the beautiful trees and forestry like this can also be left alone. You know, it's kind of like a good metaphor. But I want to come in here today, guys, because I just want to have a couple of things to get off my chest. You know, I like to do these rants down the fields, which is basically just random fields behind my house. But look at that beautiful day. Look at that sky. The last time I had the video, it was washed out completely. So hopefully today you guys don't get a washed out video. You guys can actually see the sky. I adjusted the exposure. Lads, I'll tell you one thing. I may not have the most subscribers on YouTube, but for a man to get 120,000 subscribers from music and political reactions, I must be the least tech savvy guy in the world, okay? Literally the least tech savvy. If there's one thing you can say about me, I am the least tech savvy guy in the world with the most amount of subscribers. It's like an asterisk beside the 120,000K. I'm also the least tech savvy. I literally know nothing about technology. Yesterday I bought a MacBook Pro, okay, to increase the export time of the videos, and just to increase everything. You know, Apple is the best you can get in the world. It's unbelievably fast, and it's just great technology. And it cost me €2,000, guys. Alright, it might actually get a little bit dark here, but I'll try to get the exposure. Anyways, it cost me €2,000 for this MacBook Pro, you know, which is just absurd amount of money, guys. And man, has this place grown over since I've been here. It's massively grown over. That's a tree that got knocked down again. Donkeys still following me. But yeah, guys, €2,000 for a laptop is crazy work. Like, I don't think I'd ever spend that much money in my lifetime ever again. Okay, but hopefully it lasts me 7 years, it said. Look at that, man. Try to get the thumbnail right there. That is crazy work, guys. Absolutely insane. So that was from the storm Ewan. You know, the gayest storm name. They could have gave it something more masculine. Ewan, you know, like we're all flipping West Brits or some bullshit. But yeah, it was Storm Owen. Okay, I say Owen because I ain't from, you know, I'm not from flipping Cambridge. Storm Owen, look at that. Look at the sun. That is actually insane, guys. We used to climb that tree when we were about, you know, 13. But insane. I actually have to watch out again for falling trees because this place is not like in the city of Galway. This place actually trees will fall on you because, you know, it's relatively untouched land down here. And the only people that have been down here in the last 25 years have been us and the donkeys and the cows, okay? Because we used to play airsoft games, which I said in the last video. We're actually going to show you guys the airsoft and reminisce about something. Because I got a lot to get off my chest today, guys. I got a lot of shit to talk about today, honestly. You know, about doubters, haters, and a whole bunch of other shit. But first, let me get underneath this thing, guys. This thing is this looks pretty treacherous, because I'm not gonna lie. Oh, god damn. Okay, let me see, can I record this as we're going underneath? Alright. Woo. Alright, man, let's get through it. And people are gonna be laughing at me and making fun of me, but I once again have my shoes tucked in, my socks tucked into my pants leg, and I looked like a bit of a I looked like a damn roughneck, man. I don't want to use any slangs, but I look like a bit of a damn rough son of a bitch because there's so many midges and bugs down here, but there's also ticks, guys. And I actually heard recently that in Galway, you know, some lady, some teacher got Lyme disease in Galway. You've never heard of that, guys. You never heard of that before. Like, I know Lyme disease is in Canada, North America, you know. And actually, let's go straight into the right-wing conspiracy theories. You know, I used to watch Jesse Ventura a lot as a child. Jesse Ventura conspiracy theory show on True TV. I was obsessed with it, me, my brother and my dad. And you know, they actually don't know how Lyme disease was created. You know, they reckon it's from a military compound called Lime Island. It's like a US military installation, and they apparently invented the shit there. They don't know for certain, but they build a bunch of viruses and just crazy shit like that, guys. So they're like bioweapons, which, hey man, it's not that unbelievable. Like, I don't believe everything I hear from, you know, these different people, whatever, that are not mainstream, but I also don't discredit any of them either, because, you know, I like to listen to everyone's point of view. You know, I don't like to discredit anyone. And this camera, guys, you wouldn't believe, I trained shoulders yesterday, and even holding this, you know, 150 gram camera, my shoulders actually getting tired holding it up. How crazy is that, man? But anyway, we're back here again, guys, in this beautiful area. And like I used to say, we used to play mad airsoft. Greatest thing I've ever done, watch me fall over. Greatest thing I've ever done in my life, guys, was play airsoft games. Airsoft was the shit. Okay, if you guys have never played paintball or airsoft, you have to play it. It's the most fun you'll have with your clothes on, for sure. For absolute certain, man. It's absolutely sick. So this was a tree house here. We actually had 2 tree houses. So this one was on the ground. This was a sort of a stationary on the ground, bees and everything, wasps on the ground sort of warehouse, where the other warehouse we built, my friend built it when we were like, I think we must have been about 13. It was in the trees. It was actually pretty lit. It was a legit tree house, and we used to be like snipers shooting each other from the top of it. Shit was fire, guys. It was absolutely sick. The most fun I've ever had. But yeah, absolutely insane. You know, people move on and shit like that, of course. You know, I like to think that being part of a community and building a business and making lots of money and helping people along the way is more important to me than moving to a big city and kind of getting involved in all the bullshit, guys. I feel like a lot of these big cities are now starting to become a little bit on purpose, you know. They're very purposeful, these cities, if you guys catch what I'm saying, you know. I feel like they're used to like brainwash people. You know, they always put women into these cities, move to the city, closer to the city, and you know, you're gonna find yourself, and really you're just gonna find some guy's dick, you know what I mean? You're just gonna be sleeping with a bunch of guys. Same with guys, you're gonna be banging a bunch of women. Like, that's just how it goes, guys. You know, there's not much morality in these massive cities anymore. I feel like the community aspect and the sort of, you know, homely feel is in the countryside, you know, unfortunately. And I do like cities as well. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, you know, I'd move to the city. I'd even love to move to Japan, Tokyo, South Korea, you know, some of these places for a while to experience the city there. But, you know, I spend enough time in Dublin to know all about it, guys. I know Dublin very well. I go to Dublin once every few weeks for a long time, so it's fun. But you know, they're also living in the countryside is the shit, guys. Nothing beats this, guys. You know, coming out here, shooting guns, shooting airsoft guns, paintball, throwing flipping stuff at each other, you know, shooting each other with arrows and fireworks. I know fireworks are legal in Ireland, but years ago guys used to have bangers, you know, those little red bangers. They used to throw them at each other. I remember one time one of my friends, he dropped a banger inside like a BB bag, like a bunch of, you know, plastic BBs. He dropped one inside it, shook it, and just threw it. And the shit was like a grenade when it hit. Shit was lit. But yeah, guys. But also kind of pretty sad coming down here as well. One of my friends literally passed away recently. He was actually the guy who organized these BB gun games with me, you know. My friend Patrick, you know, he passed away sadly on his birthday. And I loved him, you know, I actually loved him, guys. And you know, when you guys don't talk to people for a while, or you know, people just kind of grow apart, you always remember the memories. The memories were just amazing. You know, he actually sent me a bunch of videos of him with a GoPro on top of the airsoft gun, shooting the airsoft bullets at each other. And it was just, I watched those videos back, and that's the beauty about social media. You can watch people even after they're, you know, passed away and stuff. RIP. So much love to Patrick. You know, drop a RIP Patrick in the chat, guys. And it actually gets me emotional just even talking about it, guys, because honestly, like, you know, me and him basically started the airsoft with another guy. I can't really remember, but we started when we must have been about 13. We started these airsoft games, and yeah, he was a beast. He used to always use a sniper, and he was a beast with the sniper. He would shoot me so many times. It was awesome, you know. But you know, shit happens, guys. And actually, it's super sad because the day he passed away, I recorded the video the last time I was down here, like literally the next day, you know, he passed away, or a day or two later. So it actually just shook me that what a coincidence. I haven't been down these fields in 4 or 5 years, and then all of a sudden, you know, one of my friends kind of passed away, or someone I'd like to call a friend. But yeah, crazy stuff, guys. Oh. But yeah, he was a legend. And you know, what's that phrase, guys? You know, a man dies twice. You know, once they pass away, and once their name stops being spoken. So always speak highly of people that were good to you. And I think the good karma will come back in your favor somehow. I think God treats people well when you respect people and speak well of their name, you know. So, but yeah, shit is legendary. I think I stepped on a bee right there. I'm about to get flipping stung by all his friends. But yeah, man. And then even, you know, I jogged my thinking of that, guys, you know, people passing away. And a lot of people from school I know actually have passed away, like a few people. You know, I'm only 29, guys. I'm still a super young man, you know. But you know, it got me thinking about all that stuff, and it kind of just thinking about all my different friends and people doing different stuff in the world. It really just solidifies for me, if you guys have a passion or a purpose in life, just go 100% into that, because you might not be here tomorrow. Like, God knows, guys, like, you can't really control your health. You might get a brain aneurysm and you might just die. You know, you don't know what's gonna happen. So you know, 100% chase the dreams, chase the purpose. You know, with other people, they're gonna tell you, no, this is shit, this is bad. fuck those people, guys. They're just haters. In my personal opinion, man, you know, I started this channel 3-4 years ago. A lot of people told me, Chris, don't do it. It's crazy. I had some people say, oh, Chris, don't talk about politics. Don't talk about politics, you know. You know, we were on nights out, and some of my friends, I don't talk to these guys anymore, but you know, they would say, don't talk about politics. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, I'm gonna talk about what the fuck I want to talk about, you know? I'm built different. Like, straight up, guys, you gotta be arrogant as hell, because these people are gonna put you down. They're gonna talk shit because they can't do something. They want to put limitations on you as well, you know, and it's bullshit, guys. I truly see it now. You know, don't talk about politics. I know you wouldn't, because you're bitch ass pussies. I'll talk about what the fuck I want. And this is the whole thing, guys. Like, people are so afraid of shit, and this is why I named this video after the late great Michael Collins. Died, young man, got assassinated, okay, down in Cork. He was fighting for his country. Now, you know, I'm completely against any sort of revolution in Ireland. Let's just put that out there, you know, because I see these communists, these revolutionary communists of Ireland, and they go on about this sort of, oh, we have to do this. That's insane. That's crazy talk. But we can vote democratically, and we can speak our mind, more importantly. People died for our right to speak our mind in this country. Whenever I went to Canada, and especially the US, everyone was so patriotic. I'm going to speak my mind, god damn it. And I don't know what it is, like the low estrogen here, or the high estrogen, the low testosterone, the lack of gym culture, the lack of just masculinity. But a lot of people here in Ireland, and it's also a community thing, you know, you don't want to be seen as an outsider. People are afraid to speak their mind. Oh, I might lose my job. Well, then you should just martyr yourself and lose that job, because here's the thing, guys, nothing's ever going to change. If you guys are afraid to speak your mind, you basically live in a communist dictatorship, you know, without living in one. Okay, then we have a fake freedom of speech. And fuck a fake freedom of speech, guys, because I want a real freedom of speech. You know, this whole idea that we're not allowed to speak our mind politically, especially. Oh, we might be seen as racist, homophobic, transphobic, heterophobic. That whole mantra has been played out, and it's completely bullshit, guys. It is complete nonsense. Anyone that wants to label you as something because you speak out against atrocities in government is a loser. It's very unfair, first and foremost, because I like to keep it professional. You know, I get fired up. I'm a very intense guy in the gym. You know, especially some days I go in and I don't feel like it. I'm just kind of going through the motions. But some days I go to the gym and I work out so hard. I say to myself, I'm never gonna die. You know, I'm so fucking fired up, guys. I wanna get shit done. You know, you kind of turn into like a monster a little bit, you know. And this is the kind of shit we need, guys. It's just like a lack of masculinity. I talk to these Canadians, and not even very masculine Canadians. They're all like, oh, I'm gonna speak the freedom of speech I want to speak. And it's really admirable. I'm like, why do people in North America, why do people in Asian countries, Japan, South Korea, why do they get it? Why do they get that you should speak your mind? And then in Ireland, we're afraid to speak our mind. Imagine that, guys. We live in a developed country, 21st century, we're afraid to speak our mind. I mean, how unbelievable is that? Now, obviously, you know, there's some crackpots out there. You know, there are crackpots, and it's true. But that's very, very limited amount of people, guys. That's probably not even 1%. 1% of 1% of the crackpots. The vast majority of people that want to see change, even on the left, whatever you guys want to see, at least you're able to speak your mind. You know, I can't believe that people would be so afraid. Oh, don't speak about politics, Chris. I'm like, you guys, and I don't know, is it my Eastern European side or is it my Irish side? I don't speak the Eastern European language. I only speak English, guys, right? So I'm not very connected to Eastern Europe. I've never lived there or anything. I've lived in Ireland my whole life. You know, my dad is Irish, which you should basically take the nationality of your dad, especially if you're a man. You know, I don't know what side it is, because my dad's quite peaceful, but my Eastern European, my mom's side, crazy, guys, absolutely crazy. You know, when you go to these Eastern European countries, they're not afraid to speak their mind, guys. They don't give a shit, guys. And, you know, we need to bring sort of that culture here, guys. You know, that sort of outspoken culture. And I think with Trump being elected, the first time round, not so much. You know, 2015, 2016, people were still afraid. 2025, people aren't afraid no more, guys. Don't be afraid to speak your mind, to argue with people. Do not be afraid someone wants to call you out in person. You might lose a job. You know what you'll gain? Your respect. And respect as a man is everything. I'm only 29, you know, and I'm out here, I'm telling this shit to 40-year-olds, you know, that I meet them. I'm like, don't be going along just to get along. You might lose some jobs, guys, but here's the thing. You'll gain respect, your morality, and you'll gain work as well. I'll tell you, these Canadians that I picked up on the train that wanted to do work with me, they were completely flipping. They hate Mark, what's his name, the new Canadian Mark Carney. They hate him, even though he's Irish. I said, oh, he's Irish though, but he's super liberal, you know. They hated him. I was like, this is great, you know, and they flipping paid me well, they tipped me well, you know. This is the kind of shit, guys. Go with your people then. If you guys don't want to do business with the left, you don't have to. The beauty about politics is that you can pick a side and you'll still make money. You'll still make money if you're on the right. You'll still make money if you're on the left, if you're liberal, if you're Marxist, even if you're communist, if you're right wing, if you're left wing, you'll still make money. You'll still be able to make a living, guys. Do not be afraid of these shadowy characters. Do not be afraid of people in your local community in Ireland telling you that you can't do something. Oh, don't talk about that. And that's all that fucking matters in this world, is talking about shit, putting your foot down, saying, no, this is bullshit. Fuck this bullshit. You know, we need change right now, right? So don't be afraid of that shit, guys. You know, like I said before, I know a lot of people that passed away. You know, people die young. A lot of you guys out here think, oh man, I'm gonna live to 80 years old. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. I'm afraid to speak my mind. I'm afraid to do my job. I'm afraid to do my purpose. I'm afraid to lose some money. Yeah, shit, I lost a lot of money for the last 3 years, but we're gaining it back. We're getting it back. You know why? Because I got fucking balls, guys. You know, we're gaining the shit back, man. And this is one thing that people need to understand, bro. You know, you might lose some money initially, but you'll gain a whole bunch in the future, guys, because you get a following, and you garner a reputation for being a man. I remember at 11 years old, I was watching Rambo. I was watching all these flipping action movies. I was obsessed with action movies. You know, I was obsessed with joining the army and being a guard and being a firefighter. Still to this day, I love that shit, you know. I still love the firefighter, the guardie stuff. I still love working out, you know. You know, people say you still love banging hot girls. Like, this is normal for a guy, man. I don't know where the fuck. I see some people in town, in the city I live in or in Dublin. I'm like, we're not even the same person. Like, this is not even, like, how are you even human as a man? And you don't like the things that I like. Now, I understand people have differences, but it's such an extreme difference for me. I'm like, okay. But you know what's beauty about that, guys? That you're able to speak your mind and you're able to be different, okay? But make sure not to be curtailing people's freedom of speech. That's one thing that I hate, guys. You know what I mean? This sort of like, oh, this guy's gonna lose his job if he doesn't speak the same message or the same agenda as the woke liberal mob or the same people or whatever. Speak your mind, guys. I want to see more people. You know, it's funny. The day Trump got elected, January 1st, like a switch overnight, YouTube just popped off with people. YouTube just blew up with the amount of people reacting to political content on the left and right. You know, on the left and right, guys. On Twitter, on X. You know, it just took off because it felt like there's a change. Okay, well, now we can kind of be opposite. We can speak opposite. Now, obviously, things got a lot more extreme. Kanye West going wild. But you know what, guys? Whenever I hear people say, man, this guy's so extreme, I'm like, this guy's extreme? This guy's a dork. I'd smack the shit out that guy. This guy's 5'2", you know? And this is what you gotta be, guys. You gotta hit the gym. You gotta do MMA training. You gotta be a masculine guy. Eat lots of food, guys. Don't be like under 90 kilos running around the place saying, you know, you can take on the world. You know, try and actually put on some muscle, guys. Try and get fit, man. Hit the cardio. You know, that's one thing I lacked for a few years, my cardio. My cardio's superhuman now, all right? So anywhere you're lacking, hit the shit. And don't stop hitting until you actually achieve it. You know, I just hate seeing a guy not garner the amount of respect that he should have and the amount of accomplishment in his life because he's afraid, guys. You think Michael Collins was afraid when he was fighting in the GPO against the British? Oh shit, man. You think when those shells from the British and all this shit was coming in, you think that flipping the Americans weren't scared when they saw the British coming over with the red coats, best dressed people? You know, you thought that, you think the guys that stormed D-Day, some guys, my actual great-grandfather, good example, I've talked about him many times on this channel, he jumped into D-Day, guys. He's jumped into D-Day off a plane. He got 3 silver stars and 2 bronze medals. You guys know American Sniper, he only has 1 silver star. My great-granduncle has 3 silver stars. My great uncle is a freaking beast, guys. This guy killed a shitload of Nazis. He fought for freedom, and I'm thinking to myself, shit, man, I'm not over here afraid to talk about losing some money. This guy was gonna lose his life. He flipping fought in North Africa. He fought in the Battle of the Bulge. He fought in Normandy. He fought in every flipping war, guy. This guy was a beast, a monster, man. You know, we're talking about an elite guy. He fled Eastern Europe, and then he made it to Maryland in America, and then he flipping got drafted by the U.S. Army to go fight the flipping Nazis over in Germany and France. He fought in France. He fought in the Battle of the Bulge. He fought in where else he fought? He fought all over Europe. And I'm over here bitching and complaining about losing some money. Oh man, this is pussy shit, guys. And I hate to see people, like I said, man, I hate to see people not speaking up, man, not saying what they want to say. Even if you're on the left, guys, shit, man, speak your mind. You know, if you're a liberal guy, speak your shit. Like, at least we can know then who's right and who's wrong. You know, because if everyone's afraid to speak in Ireland, you know, that's the cultural thing, guys. You know, in Ireland we have this culture, shh, don't ask, don't tell. We have a sort of a culture where nobody says what they actually want to say, guys. They want to speak quietly and in kind of in riddles, like, and in rumors. You know, oh, I don't think I should upset the apple cart. Fucking upset the apple cart. You know, because I'll tell you guys, the more people speak their mind and do true by their own person, and don't be violent. You know, I see a lot of these violent assholes, and they kind of take it to the extreme, guys. You know, there's a difference between being masculine, helping your grandma, you know, helping your family get money, you know, hitting the gym so you can defend them. You know, all this is for defense, guys. This is not for offense. We're not offending, or we're not storming any place. Like, you know, we're not doing anything crazy like that. Absolutely not. Okay, this is all democratically done. We can vote. All you have to do is tick a box and elect representatives. But we have some people that are afraid to become representatives for the country. Like, why would you be afraid of that? Oh, my neighbors might hate me. This girl might not sleep with me if I speak out. Aoife Ashling, she might not want to sleep with me if I speak out against the system. Could you imagine? If you're one of those guys out there that's afraid to speak your mind because you might not get laid, you are the biggest bitch in the country. Because most guys are addicted to women, and they can't do shit, young men, and they can't do shit without getting the approval of a woman. Oh, baby, wife, can I do this? Hey, wifey, can I do this? Guys, this is shit's crazy. Now I know a lot of people say, well, Chris, you know, maybe you're a tall guy, you can say this shit. You know, you're a big guy. Oh, you can say this shit, guys. You know, even if you're a shorter guy, who gives a shit? It's all about mentality, man. Okay, there's people that are 5'2" that have stronger mentally than me. You know, Murphy. What was that guy, Murphy? He got 2 Congressional Medal of Honors in World War II. The Irish guy. You know, he flipping, you know, killed all these Germans, like all these Nazis. Like, guys, we're talking about real masculinity here. I hate to see it, man. But you know, I might just leave it there, man. Hope you guys got a little bit of inspiration, some words of encouragement there, because I'm sick of the bullshit, man. I truly am. I'm sick of people saying, oh, I can't speak like that, man. Well, you could die tomorrow, so who gives a shit, man? You know, you're afraid to do what, guys? You're afraid to just live your life? You know, they say now, like, what is it, 50% of guys haven't even approached a woman and got their number or whatever. Like, what the hell? I was doing that shit when as soon as I was able to flip and go out, you know, 18. I didn't go out, I didn't start drinking until I was 19, guys, okay? I didn't start getting a girlfriend and shit till I was 19. I think that's a good age, okay, 18, because, you know, you develop some life characteristics. But, like, you know, you guys are afraid to even talk to women. Like, what shit, man? If you're afraid to talk to women, you're screwed. Or you're afraid to talk to women without some alcohol in you or something, you know. Whatever your fear is, guys, make sure to demolish that fear. You know, like, you can't get a girlfriend. They say 50% of guys are incels. They're trying to make it now that if you guys work out alone, you're an incel. This is what they're trying to say now in the media. Oh, if you work out in your own garden, you're an incel. Like, really? Because I've been doing that for the last year. Am I an incel now? Like, shit, bro. I just send this shit to my brother. These quotes. You know, because my brother's my best friend. I just send him my shit, like the news talk articles. Look, dude, working out is right wing now. I just send it to him. We just start laughing hysterically. Like, if you guys have a brother, you're blessed. Brother has been my best friend since I was flipping 3 years old, 2 years old, because he's 3 years older than me. You know, this is the kind of shit, guys, like, that we have to put up with, man. Being called far right for working out alone. I mean, truly just bizarre shit, man. You know, they'll try and push you down. They'll try and make you seem like an idiot. they'll try and expose you, they'll try and do this, they'll try and bring up skeletons. Who gives a shit, guys? You know, I'd say bring them up, man. You know, I couldn't give a shit anymore, because, you know, if you guys have ever been in fights with people, you know, I've been in fights a few years ago and lost a bunch of friends and shit from just bullshit that people want to speak, and just complete losers. Let's be honest, guys. People that will never do anything in their lives are mainly the biggest haters. I've never hated on anyone in my life, guys, ever, okay, that didn't deserve it, okay? You know, if someone like committed a crime or something, I'll be like, dude, don't do that, you know what I mean? Like I told my friend, you know, don't, you know, do crazy selling drugs or something, you know, something like that. I tell people that kind of shit. But like, you know, if some guy's like doing something stupid, I never be hating on them. You know, if one of your friends comes up to you and says, hey Chris, I want to start a business, I want to do this, encourage them, guys. You know, this is Ireland, guys. We need entrepreneurialism in this country. Encourage them. You know, be encouraging with your friends, guys. You know, give them words of encouragement. You know, that's what this whole YouTube channel was formed for. I didn't even really want to do music reactions, guys. I love music, and I love the politics, but I want to encourage people to be better, you know. And it seems now all I'm doing is just shitting on people, you know, a lot of the time shitting on flipping other influencers, because they're putting people down, they're flipping telling us we can't have freedom of speech. You know, it's all bullshit, guys. I hate to see it, man. You know, I know I've said that quite a bit, but yeah, we're gonna keep this raw and real. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I actually like this day better than yesterday. Yesterday was 25 degrees in Galway. In Athenry, I think they said in Ardrahan or Athenry, it was 26.4 degrees, the highest in the whole country. So the West obviously has got the hot weather this time, which I'm very happy about. All right, come to the West, guys. It's better than the East, better than anywhere in the whole country. I'm just joking, I'm just teasing, guys. But you know, I actually prefer this weather. Today is like 14 degrees. I prefer the 16 degrees. That's how you know I'm very Irish, lads. I prefer the 16 to 20 degrees rather than the over 20. I can actually do shit outside then. But I'm gonna leave you guys with a shot of the donkeys. Hold up, let's get up here. Oh, watch my friends, guys. They love this. Nice. Look at that. Look at that. That is a beautiful animal right there. 4 donkeys. All right, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure to hit the join link underneath the video to push back against the mainstream, whatever that is, mainstream media. And I'll see you in the next one, man. Peace.